Hello everyone, Andrew here with
Andrew. How are you?
Christian Salmoni, the Style and Heritage Director of Vacheron Constantin. We've come out here to get a bit of sun and to get a bit of context, but it's also super hot in Switzerland, would you believe? I want to get back inside. I've got some questions for you about the 222.
Great. So let's go.
Okay, we're off. Let's go. Now this is a church-like, sophisticated space, but Christian, what happened right here about 15 minutes ago was not very sacred. It was a melee, and that was everybody trying to get my watch off my wrist, and they were thinking it was my watch, which I was very happy with. But I think that energy around the 222 is why I think we're just spontaneously making a second video right now, because I have so many questions to ask about it. Tell me, put this in a context for me. Where is this in the hype range for you in your career at Vacheron? Is this number one?
No, so it's hard for me to tell you, to give you a ranking, but what I can say about that watch. So obviously I know well the 1977 model. Mm-hmm. You absolutely feel the connection between 1977 and 2022. Mm-hmm. The watch has the same dimension, so a 37 millimeter. It's almost the same thickness.
Wears as a 40 though, we have to say. It wears to me like a 40.
Yeah, but it's 37 actually, I promise you.
I know.
But I think that there is something which is absolutely, close to perfection for me is the bracelet. Yes. The bracelet is just fantastic. It's like a second skin. And, we are... when we speak about, say, sport elegant watches, like the overseas or the 222, I think for me this one is really maybe the best definition of a wristwatch, if I may say.
Yes,
I would say.
Okay, yeah. And look, the crowd just heaved a sigh of relief when this watch was released. There wasn't a sense of exultation and surprise. It was, Vacheron have finally got with the program. Yeah. We have integrated bracelet, 70s sports watches, peaking like never before. And I do have to ask you, what took you so long? I have to ask you.
Yeah, so I think the answer is very simple. So we've been working, I think, very hard into creating the lineup of overseas. So we really wanted to add to the overseas collection some important watches, say, for example...
And distinction.
Yeah, and so, for example, the skeleton perpetual calendar, the tourbillon, and this year, especially also the open work versions. So, I think the overseas collection, as we know, has enjoyed success worldwide. And so we said to ourselves, so it's about time to work on the 222, but it will not be another collection at Vacheron Constantin, for sure. Yes. So I think this is the most important point. So the 222 from that you have on your wrist is part of the historic collection. Mm-hmm. And so in the historic collection, as you know, so we are paying tribute to important, iconic, emblematic models from the past, and where the production figures are really low. So we are really talking about Vacheron Constantin heritage, legacy, durability, design, etc., and legitimacy. So the 222 that you have here has to be considered a bit like the American 21 or the chronograph Corne de Vache.
Yes.
Beautiful watches from the past that we have revisited.
Yes. Now let me just quickly create a bit of a best of the comments that were coming out from this group. Comment number one, I didn't expect it to wear so big. Mm-hmm. They thought 37, I'm never going to wear a 37mm gold watch. Absolutely not how it wears. Look at this thing on my wrist. I have a 7-inch wrist. This to me does not in any way feel like a small watch.
Absolutely, I fully agree with you.
Number one. Number two, I never thought I would wear a fully gold watch, but there's a tonality to this gold that is so muted. I said it's like gold with the volume turned way down because it has this incredibly muted and subtle, stealthy tone.
Yes, it's true, Andrew. And I think, there is also one reason behind that is the fact that the finishing is satin finish.
Yes.
And the satin finish on the bracelet really lowers the effect of
but it's quite
gold.
A smooth satin brush.
Very much,
and it almost obscures the coarse scratching. The other comment is there's something about the way that this watch wears that is, I think I've never quite experienced, which is the weight distribution, the weight dispersal, because of these heavy links in the bracelet. It feels like it's almost dispersed evenly across not just the case and the watch head, but also the bracelet. Tell me about that. What are the wear particulars that make this special? Because every person who put this on just went, oh wow, that just sort of locks on.
So I think this impression of having a larger watch than 37 has been created by the dimension of the bracelet. And so I think that's why.
It's quite an aggressive taper, which is a nice touch. You know, we've got a real, you know, there's a several millimeters taper there, isn't there?
You know, it's really exactly like in the model of 1977.
Yeah. So, but I just want to recap and paraphrase something that you said earlier, because it was very cleverly, cunningly just weaved into the conversation. You mentioned that this is a historic model.
Yes.
You mentioned that this is going to remain very exclusive.
Yes.
Let me interpret that for you. If you want this watch, I would suggest you go and put your name down at your boutique now. This is a boutique-only edition, is that correct?
Yes, it's true.
And this is not going to quickly extrapolate into other models, as we have had many people just, I suppose, speculate that this will turn into a collection with a steel model soon. Not going to happen.
No, so again, to make things clear,
unless you tell me it is right now.
So no, it's true. So okay, so we of course in the historic collection we have the flexibility to come with other metals. For example, if you look at the American 21, for example. But it's true that well, as we know, we receive a fantastic welcome for the new 222. So far, I think that so we have this version in yellow gold, which is fine.
It's a sensation for a reason. You're a sensation for a reason. And I really am so happy that we could do this in person after so many years.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me here.
Cool.
Awesome.